first one I want to focus on is VCL, where we have done a significant amount of modernization work. We've been looking forward to remove any legacy from old version of Windows, like Windows XP, and make sure that our controls support all of the features that the platform provides, whether it is because they map to the right platform controls or leverage new Windows messages or new APIs that have become available over the last few years. The most significant is the new Rich Edit implementation that now includes the latest platform control and offers features like URL detection, transparency, and spell checking. All you need to do to migrate an existing application is open it and then enable those features in the matching properties of the Rich Edit control in RAD Studio 11. The collection of improvements is very, very long. One of the most notable is also preview checkboxes, but you can read here that we've really done a lot to make sure that the components behave as you would expect. We've added multi-frame support for the platform, Windows imaging control. We've added some features around defaults, like a bigger default form size, different default font for forms, and really dozens of other small improvements that really make your life easier in everyday VCL development. We've also improved the support for running VCL applications on a remote desktop, removing some of the flickering and some of the issues that are more visible in that scenario. And that also affects positively the IDE when you are using remote desktop to use RAD Studio. Finally, we've introduced a new small component, a data-aware label edit control. But let's have a look to some of these controls in practice and also to how VCL applications run and look on Windows 11. This is a VCL application that uses the Rich Edit control. As you can see here, we have new properties like transparent, show URL hint, and spell checking, which are all active. Now, if I run this application, you can see that just by typing the text over URL, that becomes a hyperlink. You can also see that if I misspell something, I have it underlined with a red squiggle and can go and correct it using the hints that the operating system provides me. When I click on the URL, I'm going to open a page. That's because there is a new event in the Rich Edit control, which is editor link click, which is where you can implement the operation to be executed when the user clicks on the URL. This other example shows a preview where we can enable the checkboxes and we can change the style for the checkbox. We can iterate it through multiple different options. And of course, we can automatically change the styles or read the status of each of the items.
Running the latest insider beta of Windows 11 here. And one of the distinguishing features is the rounded corners. So I wanted to show you that by default, your Delphi applications will have rounded corners, but you can't control it. I am showing with the custom title bar because I figured that would be the worst case scenario. And I've set some colors and centered the title bar here. There is some code in here, I'll show you, that I've added to turn off the rounding or set the rounding to small or turn it back on again based on which button you press. So here we have the default, which we see with the rounded corners. So at this point, no additional APIs have been called. I can turn off the custom title bar, turn it back on again. Rounded corners stayed the same. I can turn off the rounding, and now we've got pointy corners like Windows 10, and go back to regular rounding or even small rounding, which also gets rid of the shadow. But otherwise, everything works about the same as it did in Windows 10.